I've only been in Congress for a year and a half, but last week was one of the most remarkable. On paper, the big thing that happened was we failed to pass a bunch of budget bills, which isn't really a shock, except the Speaker had drawn a line in the sand saying we would pass a budget by August 1st. And we didn't get remotely close to that, so now the stage is set for another one of those semi-fake near-miss shutdown dances. You'll start seeing headlines about this in the next few weeks. I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think the odds of a shutdown right before an election are pretty small. But that's not what people were talking about. Everything was overshadowed by this huge emotional whiplash from the presidential race. 10 days ago, the minority party felt crushed. They sounded like they were on the Titanic and they were about to go down with the ship. Members of Congress care about the presidency, but they really care about their own seats. And the minority party was looking at some projections that had them losing a ton of seats. Meanwhile, the majority party was thrilled. Some of them told me they considered the election to be effectively over, and they were already thinking in terms not just of winning the presidency, but of dramatically expanding their majority. So basically, the vibes were very good on one side and very bad on the other. And then, a 180-degree turn, the great vibe reversal of 2024. You're not allowed to light fireworks on the floor of the U.S. House for good reason, but it almost felt like that was the level of celebration by the minority party now that the vice president is going to be the nominee. They're looking at polls of her doing very well among independents right out the gate, and there's a belief in the minority party that that could filter down to a lot of their congressional races. As a member of Congress, I assure you, it is remarkable the extent to which our races are tied to the top of the ticket. Yes, it is possible to outperform, but it is really, really hard, especially if you have to outperform by more than a few points. What this all means in Congress is that the majority party now has to pivot to start playing offense against her immediately. For example, articles of impeachment were filed against her last week, accusing her of high crimes and misdemeanors. It's not going to come to a vote, and the Speaker didn't even want it to be filed, but he couldn't hold back one of his members, so it was. There are a few more things Congress is going to try and do before the election, but not much. If we've been at 70% performative politics all year, we're about to go to 95, and I'll keep you posted.